All right, hey guys, we are back here. Hole number 2, par 4. So let's see here if I can't figure this one out. Hole 2, let's just switch back to our quasar ball. I'm going to use about 3 top spin here and maybe land it right around here, somewhere in here. And we'll do this with some curl as well, just to kind of straighten it up into the center. So we'll play the rings about 2.5, and then we'll do this with some curl. Because of the fact that you can see that you really need to just try to get it going up a little bit more towards the right. And there you can see, very aggressive. You know, you can't go above 3 top spin. I already kind of knew that from tour 9. But at the same time, you know, I have to get somewhat aggressive if I want to be able to, you know, not go into power on my rough there. So here you can see, especially with the tailwind, you know, you do want to drive it kind of similarly to what you saw me do, as aggressive as I did. And one of the biggest reasons is so I can actually, you know, still get somewhat aggressive here. I'd like to take off some of that side spin just to have a little bit more ball control here, and see if I can't get it coming in kind of like this. And I'm assuming that's kind of spot on. And in terms of ring play, you know, I'm very close to max here. So I would probably go right around 2.5 rings here. Maybe just a tiny bit more. And there you can see, perfect ball. So let's see if I can't get this going relatively good online. And not too bad considering, but I also got a little bit lazy there on the way that I... especially on angled winds like that, you know, when once it starts getting up to a high number, you know, 4 doesn't seem like a big wind, but you always need to do some kind of extra correction. What I did there was a little bit of an overplay. I overplayed the wind. I went more rings than necessarily, even if it's only a quarter ring more. That's what I did, and you can see that it wasn't quite enough. But you always have to be thinking about those wind effects. So hopefully you're able to do something similar and, you know, put together something. Let's see what this looks like. Doesn't look like it's going to come off that hill. So nevertheless, I would just try to focus on, for this hole, you know, putting the tee shot in play. Definitely, if you can drive it far enough like I did, and you can play a very consistent shot like that, you know, between 3 and 4 backspin, you can see speed-wise the way that the ball rolls in, it's very controlled. And you can see that, you know, it's really going to be a good opportunity for you guys to hole out if you're able to bring it in like that. So that is going to be ideal. Otherwise, you're going to have to, you know, play it a little bit more aggressive. If you guys want to check some other videos, there's been times that I've been able to get away with 2 backspin. You just have to get very aggressive with the way that you land it. Instead of landing it into the green, you have to land it towards like the fringe. So just something to keep in mind. But aside from that, if you don't have that luxury, just kind of play it out to the left and maybe curl it or spin it off that side back hill that you can see right behind there. So just something to be thinking about when you guys are doing your rounds. So let's see what we got here. We got a little bit of a tailwind. Usually when I get winds like this, I'll start to jack my backspin up a bit. So here you're going to see me use 4 backspin. You've also seen me probably use 3.5 as well. So here you're going to see that I'm going to start to jack it up just a tiny bit more because the ball guide is going to expand after I hit this. So I will usually play this maybe 3.25 rings, somewhere in there. And somewhere right around here. Perfect ball. And you can see just cranked it up just a little bit too much, but you can see all things considered, getting it to 0.7, you're going to win a lot of shootouts if you can consistently hit it to 0.7 anyway. So definitely something to focus on, you know, being consistent, getting the ball out there, and always thinking about the wind effects and the wind direction. You see Jen got very small wind compared to me. She only had an extra 10% reduction, which would be the equivalent of like 0.35, but she has a 1.2 less wind. So it just goes to show you, you know, you can have some variance in of at least a 1 mile per hour. You can see Jen probably had about 1 mile per hour less than me, and then with the 25, the extra 10%. It ends up being so there you can see, brought it in too fast, but got it to bounce right on the cup. So good luck there with that hole, guys, and be on the lookout for the next one.